Hello, everybody, and welcome to this new series called Let's Talk About It, which is a series about me talking about game concepts or like topics that I feel that we need to talk about it because it helps to gain knowledge. So this whole series I'm planning to is just it's not an awareness video, but it's also kind of like an awareness video because the main thing is we want to get as much. I want to understand the concept. I want to gain more knowledge about like people's choices and their what affects them in terms of like getting a game or buying a game or playing a game. A good example. So today we'll be talking about getting a game. The main thing that drives me into making this video is that well on my last recording of Worth It or Not, which should be Darkest Dungeon, I felt that the game itself was worth it. The theme was very nice, but I believe a lot of people will be turned down by it because of the very simple fact that not a lot of people like to play those type of mechanic games. A good example is the game itself is a very simple turn-based game, but as of the current trend in the industry of games, turn-based is not exactly on top. The best way to put it is okay. Card games itself is turn-based, but it's still real lifetime because you have a timing. But if it's like a single-player turn-based game, it's kind of dying out. A good example is if you were to look at games like the recent remake of Final Fantasy VII, that is turn-based, but not exactly. So yeah, that kind of you can see why that when I was like reviewing the game, it kind of made me kind of have I thought about it. And the other driving factor was when I had a friend basically comment on the video and it says that, oh, nice, you made a video regarding Darkest Dungeon. I want to know more about it, and then I want to get it. And then when he told me that he will just wait out for a sale, it kind of made me realize that I can't exactly review a game about worth it or not without talking fully about the price because Malaysians, I'm Malaysia, I'm Malaysian, Malaysia pula. I'm Malaysian, and well, games are all priced in US dollar. So if you were to get a game that costs 40 US dollar, it costs 160 ringgit, which is very expensive. Now, as far as I know, if I remember correctly, Darkest Dungeon is around 10, maybe 20 USD, which basically means it's about 80 ringgit. But I think I might be wrong. I think it might be around. I can't remember the actual price. I remember I got it around 30 ringgit, which if I were to convert it was about 10 USD or plus or minus. But that's still quite a lot if you were to compare it to like Malaysian. Well, truthfully, even Malaysian games are priced around there right now. Now, what I mean by Malaysian games are also priced around there. Well, if you were to look at games that are developed in Malaysia, which is quite far in between. If I remember correctly, Simulacra, which was developed by Kagang Games, which is a Malaysian company, was also roughly around that price. Also, go if you ever want to play a good scary game, play Simulacra. That might be next year's Halloween game. Anyway, the price of a game affects greatly how the game would do in Malaysia, I believe. Now, prove me wrong if people want to like give comments on this. Please write it down below because I want to know your opinions on this because I want to I want to discuss about this. Like very few people talk about this, and well, not very few people. Like nobody ever talks about it in Malaysia, so I want to talk about it. Anyway, moving on. A game itself has a lot of worth in people's eye differently. I think I phrased that very wrongly. A lot of people value games very differently in terms of their own worth. A good example I would like to put out is there's one game that the very first video of Worth It or Not, the game Slay the Spire. To this day, I will still consider that game a freaking steal because of one very simple reason. That game itself, I remember buying it for. Okay, I'm gonna be frank. I remember playing it for a a certain method, and then in the end, because of how good it felt the game, how much I sank the time into it, I sank 30 hours through the other method. I sank 30 hours into a game that I haven't bought yet, and then when I finally bought it, I sank another 100 hours into the game. That game says it's just a very simple turn-based game, yet it created a weird. It made me realize that I like those games, and those games are very like, I can get a lot of enjoyment out of those type of games. So people value the games very differently. A good example right now is, well, a game by Riot that, for me, I have not seen a lot of people play and a lot of people talk about in Malaysia, which is Legends of Runeterra. The one game I'm right now showing to you guys. It's a card game. This is a card game by Riot. Yet, as far as I know, in terms of like even like the news around like this, I don't see much of it. But then again, the problem is this: is media or information nowadays is based on like stuff that either I play or people play, and then it gets pushed up to the top. So a good example is I see more Valorant than Legends of Runeterra. Now the thing is though, I might just not be looking at the right information, but are there people playing this game in Malaysia? If you do, please like speak up on it, because it is a fun game. I really recommend people to play it. It's a free game. And here's the crazy thing about this game. This game itself is way more player friendly than Hearthstone. Hearthstone is so expensive nowadays. No joke. They recently revamped their supposed like a reward system, which in my eyes is slow. It's way slower than the old one. The old one is a very fixed concept. If you have how many daily quests, you complete the daily quest, you get the gold, you expand your deck. It's quite simple. This game itself gives you cards on like I remember I have like I collect a large majority of my cards like through playing it. It's very, very easy. Even like there's stuff like the expedition which rewards you more and more. So I want to know. I want to open discussion right now. In the end, I want to talk about the concept of worth it or not to like the people's here, and then I want everyone's opinion. In my eyes, games in Malaysia nowadays needs to either be priced at a freaking good price, which is which as far as I know is roughly like 20 ringgit, which is very, very, very sad for a developer, because that's like roughly $5 USD. And if you make a game that's $5, trust me, I can believe a lot of them would probably go out of business before they make their second game or even go on. Anyhow, I just want to be frank about this kind of series. This series is probably gonna be like a on and off series. It might substitute some of my videos. Anyway, it's substituting into the breach today because of the fact that I want to talk about it, because I like talking to people. You can come join the stream with me. I usually stream on my stream is on Tuesday. And then depending on the games that have been played on Thursday or Saturday or Sunday, I usually like talking to people a lot. So comment below your opinions, your discussion, your worth. That's a good best way to put it. Your game worth. What game do you consider a great steal or a great price? That is value. That's a great value. So I think that's it. I'm also about to hit 10 minutes, and I think I'm running out of things to say already. But to end it off, also comment below the next topic you want to talk about. Next topic I want to talk about. Next topic that I might want to talk about, because truth is speaking, I'm just gonna be looking for stuff to talk about. Now, things to note. I have not gotten Cyberpunk 2077. I know someone who has. If you want his opinion on the game, like you want him to like just give some basic feedback and just some questions you want to ask below, maybe I'll do a recording with him and then we'll try to talk about it. So yeah, that's it from me, I guess. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to the page, the YouTube channel, and give us a thumbs up for the video. That helps a lot as usual. That's it from me. See you guys in the next one then.